Nice to have you on LapoteeTV.
It's my pleasure, sir.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was here with one young guy the last time. I was telling him that Europe is such a place that abroad is in such a place that once you've not been here, you can't actually tell the story. And it looks like one way or the other, anybody who comes here will definitely have a story to tell.
Okay.
First of all, tell us, who is Madam Teresa? Let's begin with.
Okay, thank you, sir. Yes, my full name is Teresa Du.
Okay.
And I come from Ghana.
Okay.
Yes. So I've lived here for some time now as well. If my first son is even 23 years, he was born here.
More than 2 decades.
Yes, so you can see I've been here for a while. Okay. Yes, I've been in the system for a while. Okay. Yes. So we all came like any other African for greener pastures. Yes, that was my first intention of coming here. Yes, but what followed is yet to be unfolded as we speak on. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
So that's what we're, and like I said, that's one of the reasons why we have this interview. So that's what we want to know. You said when you were coming, one of your main purpose for coming is for greener pastures. So,
yes.
Were you able to get the greener pastures that you came from the onset?
Oh, a good question. In the beginning, yes, one would think as soon as you come here, all is well. Actually, it was like this. I had a boyfriend, who was here. Oh, okay. He was the one who actually brought me over. Okay. Yeah. So, yes. Even though I came, to meet somebody already here on the ground, it wasn't that easy. Oh, okay. Yes, because he also had his own struggles to face. Yes, but the Bible says that 2 is better than 1. Yes. With our joint efforts, it was better to navigate into the system. Right. Yes. Yes.
If you don't mind me asking, people normally says, anytime someone brings somebody over here and then misunderstanding and then the woman ends up leaving. If you don't mind me, are you still with this guy that you're talking about?
I am still with this guy.
Wow. Guys, you heard it. So like I said, this is LapoteeTV where we get to unfold such stories. Yes. Sometimes for most of you that keep thinking that all African women are the same, and when you go and bring somebody from Africa and at a point in time the person will leave you, it's not good to put everybody in the same box or in the same shoe. No. People are different,
No.
Those kind of things happen for different reasons. Yes. So like I said, she's an exception when it comes to those people who are acting like that. So still with you. Sorry for
interrupting. No, it's good. And talking about this story you just mentioned about this negative, picture that our men have about African women who are brought over. I have a young man here in Hamburg, and he calls me mommy. Like he's taking me like a mother, even though I didn't know him before. It's just coincidence. But and he confides in me a lot. One day he just asked me, mommy, I'm desiring to bring my wife over. I said, do that. It's a good thing. I mean, why should you be living here and your wife is living in Ghana? Africa, and he said, yes, mommy, but I'm reluctant because since I came here, I've realize that many of our men who brought over their women, it has turned out to be something, or even if the woman has not left him, she's not submissive because she comes and she also has, substance. She has money, she earns
a little money around.
And then she thinks, like I'm on my own.
Also arrived.
Yes, so I don't, when I said, just like you said, not putting everybody in the pot, yes. I still try to encourage him not to let that frighten him. And I told him that when your wife comes, you've taken me as your mom, I will sit her down, I will talk to her, that whatever decision she takes, just rushing out because of money, it has consequences later. Whatever step you take today has consequences tomorrow that you have to face. So if you take the wrong step, it will yield bad fruit for you. And then he said, okay, he will think about it. Yes. So it's just one of those things. It's rather unfortunate that we have to be talking about such things.
Well, I'm glad at least he was able to have a mother figure that he was able to confine in.
Yes.
Sometimes I also believe that is the most of the problem that people face. Like, I'm sure, like I said, he's heard from a lot of colleagues.
Yes.
I'm sure some African guys, when someone confide in them, are like, you are going to bring a woman from Africa. You don't see what's happening to AD, and then they start comparing themselves to each other. What happened? But what is one person's fate is definitely not going to be your fate. You understand me?
Not at all.
So back to your story before we we start going somewhere else. So I should say,
Yes. Yes. So like I said, we all started like any other, we got up, went to Akwaaba, the usual profession we begin with. Yes. And then it came to a time, after having my 2 children, I have 2 sons here, I decided that I will have myself educated. Yes. So I took that step. And then I went to the Handelsschule, is a school for building professionals. Professional skills, yes. And that is where I absorbed the course called Reiseverkehrskauffrau. That is somebody who is trained for the travel industry. Yeah, that is what I did. I did that course for 3 years. Yes, and then wrote my exams. The exams certificate is a Handelskammer certificate. Yes, so yes, I have that as my certificate. And then after the course, I admired people who work, at the airport, I like, or even if not air hostess, the ground staff, I like to see the media.
Someone even say your outfit is looking like, when you first step here, I'm like, okay, this one look like she just stepped out of the plane.
It's just like that. You can see it's my hands burning. Yes. So even though I wrote many, applications to different airlines and so on, I always got rejection letter. Unfortunately, yes. And but I must be honest. I cannot blame them for that because it entails more than we think. For instance, to be a stewardess, you must be able to know how to swim.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Africa too, they say we don't know how to swim.
Yes, I didn't know that. So you apply they will bring you questions. Do you have this swimming course? Do you have that? Do you have your driving license? And then you yourself will see that you don't match into the criteria. We shouldn't always say that maybe they sideline us. Yes, so because when the flight has to do an emergency landing somewhere on the water, they should be able to evacuate the passenger. You will see those ladies at that time, they are like soldiers.
Wow.
Yes, and they do the work. So it looks beautiful, but it requires much than it looks. Okay. Yes, so that was it.
I'm really happy that you are taking time to explain all these things. Because, like you said, most of our African people, like anytime they want to apply for a job, that kind of a thing.
Yes.
Let's take, for instance, a lot of people in this country say that one job that is very common or available for Africans is nursing.
Yes.
So you see everybody who comes try to follow that thing, but it's just like you said, probably the other part of the jobs that they are trying to apply for, somehow they are not qualified.
Yes.
Let's go back a little bit in your story. It's interesting. You said you came back after having your 2 kids.
Yes.
You decided to try to further yourself to go to school and upgrade yourself. We see this thing a lot. Some people come here and they do the job like you say, and they get stuck to that
Yeah.
At that point where you've gotten 2 kids, where let's say probably you're receiving what they call social benefit from the government, what was it that really pushed you to say that I still have to further my education so that I can do something better. You could have just be at home, like I said, and receiving all this kinder girl that Africans are fighting over.
Yeah. Thank you for that question. Okay, my background was that even back in Ghana, I was working as a secretary in a big financial institution. Yes, so back then I was used to office environment, So when I came here and realized that everybody has to do a to survive, at least initially before you can find, your grounds. Yes, so initially one has to do it, to stand, and then I still desire that I will work in that environment I used to work. Okay, so to do that, I have to get the education. So it was such that one day I intended to go to Ghana for a visit. I said, I've been in Europe for a while. Let me find a ticket and go home and visit mommy and the family. So at that time I walked into the office, Akwaaba Travel and Tours. It was that time run by one elderly man called Mr. Bosompim. He's passed away. May his soul rest in peace. He was my mentor. He was like my daddy here. And when I walked into that office and I did my inquiries and I was about to leave the office, I asked him, said, would you need somebody to assist you here for your office work or something? And he said, at the moment, no. And I said, okay, good. But in case you decide you need somebody, I'm available because I'm conversant with working with the PC. I have knowledge of it because of my background back home. So then I left. And then once in a while, I will call there again to find out, and then ask if he's still. And then, so luckily one day his wife, Mama Betty, she called me. And then she said, we will need your assistance now. Okay, so then I came and started assisting them, but that was just as a queer emphasis. Yes, I wasn't qualified. I didn't have any previous experience or qualification. So in the course of that, then I decided that I would take the formal education, which is what I did, what I call the Reise Verkehrskauffrau. Yes, that course, so that the Germans train a doer. That means that any course you are doing, you have the practical aspect and the theory. So when I go to school, the Handelsschule, where we do the theory, I come back to the office and then do the practicals. So that, and it is a very good system of, teaching or training, a professional. That is the German system. So that is how it was. And then when I finished the course, like I was just mentioning, and wanted to go and work at the airport and it didn't work, then later after my mentor, the man I mentioned, Mr. Bosompim, he had gone back to settle in Ghana because he was an elderly man then. And then I took over this company. Yes, I took over this company and then registered in my name. Registered in my name. And then since then I have been managing it. So dates. Yes.
All right, guys. So like I keep saying, this is LapoteeTV. This is only where you get to hear such news. I mean, so far she's been talking. You said she came here, she started with the aprapra that everybody was doing. She didn't just settle there like some people have done. They will do it for 50 years. She started to advance herself, and lo and behold, today she owns a company. She owns Akwaaba Travel and Tour. So,
Yes.
guys, let me not say much. If you are here in Germany, if you want to support a sister,
Yes.
and you always buy ticket, that kind of a thing, the only place that you can buy your ticket is Akwaaba.
Yes.
And but I mean, you guys give online service, right? So we don't
Yes.
necessarily have to walk to your office before they
No,
can buy.
we do
So
online
yeah,
service.
any African that you are watching this, and like I'm saying right now, wherever you are, if you want any ticket, you just have to contact. I think the name is just simple, Akwaaba Travel and Tour, right?
Yes, Akwaaba.
Yes.
Yes.
So stick with us as she still share her stories.
Yes.
So I'm still with you. So I just want to ask you,
Yeah.
what was some of the taking you? Let's go back a little bit to when you were doing the aprapra. You
Yes.
know, when you come from Africa and you are not used to doing some kind of mini. For some people, I would say it's something normal for them.
Normal for them.
What was it that kept you going and doing this aprapra and go like, I haven't done something like this before. How can I subdue myself? What was it that kept you going and doing the aprapra?
Yes, you need to survive. Yes, you have to pay for your rent. You even you have to be caring for back home. You know when we come here, we are carrying the family burden. Your mom is old. Your siblings are there. They are looking up to you because you are in Europe, and so anything you lay hands on
You have
to earn something, you just do it.
Just to be able to provide for people.
Yes, yeah, as long as it's not against God.
You know, it's interesting you put it that way. Sometimes I feel like even with that we are here, we don't spend the money as much as the people spend the money home.
Yes.
Because after taking your bills out,
Yes.
you go to one shop, buy 1 or 2 clothes. There are people start calling you for school fees and all these things.
Yes.
Yeah. And you know, when you were talking to, there was one thing you said which I really appreciate. You know, there are some people when people do good for them, they don't acknowledge them.
Yes.
But as you were telling your story, you were able to mention this elderly man,
Yes.
or something, wherever he is.
Yes. His soul
rest in peace.
Yes.
Yeah, and you're able to acknowledge him and
the wife.
And wife and the things and they
Yes.
did for you, and I think that's a very good thing. If only
Yes.
all Africans
Yeah.
act like this, year would be good. But because most of the time you hear people saying that, oh, I helped this person, and they could even come back to come and say thank you someday, and that has hardened some people's heart in doing good. And if you're watching me on LapoteeTV, I want to tell you, it's not just everybody that have that kind of mindset. So if you help somebody out there for once and you feel like they didn't return to come and say thank you, you feel like because of that you've hardened your heart, please soften your heart.
Yes.
There are still the good people out
There
there.
are still good people.
Yes, sir. So tell us, after registering the company in your name,
Yes.
what are some of the challenges you face? You know, it's one thing when you are trying to manage something for someone.
Yeah.
And it's another thing when now it comes, all the sole responsibility now rests on you.
It rests on you.
What were some of the challenges you started facing after? Yeah.
All right. I will say it this way. When I took over, it wasn't even difficult for me.
Okay.
Because I learned to work wholeheartedly with Mr. Bosompem at that time. And most of the time, when somebody even calls him, he will just say, call Teresa. Teresa is in the office. Go to Teresa. Go to Teresa. So even when he was there, it was like I was in control already. So when you serve under somebody and you do it wholeheartedly, you will gather the experience, and it becomes, an asset for you in the future when you have to stand on your own. So there was nothing new. Really, there wasn't anything new
about the work.
When I took over, I had already gathered every experience I had to.
Now, tell me,
yes,
some people might find themselves in this similar situation and say the person wants to retire. They will not see the need or the essence to want to hand over to an apprentice, someone who has worked for them. What did you actually do for this man to see you as the right person? Because I'll say that the business is more like his baby by then.
Yes.
What did it take, or what did it exactly that you did that this man saw that, oh, you are someone fitted to hand over what he has hustled and built from the scratch?
It goes back to just what I said before you asked this question. You were asking me what difficulty I encountered when I took over, and I answered you that there was no even different, because with the things I'm doing now, I was doing it even when I was under him. Yes, I was, subject to him. I saw him as my dad. You know, he was my mentor. He and the wife, they are such a loving, you know, couple.
Okay.
So I worked wholeheartedly, and I think he also says that, you know, when you are with anybody, in anything, even in marriage, you have to know, is my partner for my interest, or she's just for her selfish interest. Is it a business relationship? Are we, you know, cooperating? So anybody you associate with, you would know whether the person is selfless or selfish. And so because of the qualities he saw in me, I'm not bragging. He would say it even if he were here. Yeah. He didn't find it difficult to hand over to me. Yeah, because and he saw it that I was the one who was carrying the vision over, you know, that it doesn't break. What he sowed, he has found somebody he can trust to carry it on. And for him, that was even a joy to him. Yes.
All right, guys. So, like you saying, this is LapoteeTV. This is the only place where you get to hear such stories. So, if you are somebody and you ever find yourself in the situation and you are working for somebody, don't say that, oh, this does not belong to me. So, I'm gonna do it anyhow I like. You know, when good deeds does not go unpaid. When you do a good thing for someone, surely you must receive your reward. Even if your story didn't turn out to be just like the way hers did, you must get your payment somewhere. And like I said, still on LapoteeTV, and I'm here with the woman, Madam Teresa. So I'm still with you. So, you know, it's rather very interesting when you started saying the way you said you learned all this computer thing when you were back in Ghana. And according to what you said, if not for anything, you say your first son is around 23 years.
Yes.
So that means 23 years ago, Madam Teresa, computers were not something that was very common in Ghana by then.
Yeah.
I can remember, I had my first phone 2006 or so. For you to be really being in computer, what really made you develop that interest as at then? Because it looks like it's paying off now. What did you learn computers as far back as then?
Okay. You are right. I was working in this financial institution, and we had our sponsors. It was an NGO company, and then one of our donors, we had various donors. One of them was the Konrad Adenauer Foundation in Germany. Okay, and then we also had sponsors from Canada. And so these sponsors, they used to bring the company computer even back in those days. Okay, yes, even back in those days in the 90s, they used to bring us computers. And I myself have realized that Germany, this country, even invested in me right back in Africa, like I'm telling you, because this Konrad Adenauer Foundation, that was the sponsor of this NGO. The school I attended in Ghana, it is called Social Advance Institute. It was a secretarial school. That school was also funded by Konrad Adenauer Foundation. Okay, so right back in Ghana, you know, Germany was already
in the pipeline.
I could see that. I even remember one time, for no reason, I just found some pamphlet about coming to do German course, and I applied to the school, and I just did it, and surprisingly they wrote to me. I said, yes, you want to come and study German? Yes, you have admission, but at that time I didn't have any help to come over. Yes, so I'm grateful for this country. Yes, because the land has really invested in my life, and so I also give my best as I can in my little way, in my little corner. Yes.
That's good. You know, they have this saying, what is meant to be is meant to be. Even though you put in the effort, even though it's meant to be, you still put in the effort, and then you see it manifesting, and now today everything is going the way you wanted it to go. But now let me find out from you. You know, here in Europe, or Germany to be precise, we have these things, or let me put it this way. what was the relationship like with you and your friends when you realized that you moved from the Apra to now owning this Akwaaba? Because you know there are some people that when they come to this country, where they started is when they want to get stuck.
Yeah.
And so the very moment they realize that they started with somebody and the person is trying to climb the ladder, they kind of perceive the person in a certain manner.
Yeah.
How was it like with you having friends those time and moving up the ladder?
Yeah.
What was it like?
Thank you, sir. It is true. What you were saying is true. At that time, I used to hear, stories that, oh, why is she wasting her time? Where is she? Where is she going to work with this school she's attending? Instead of concentrating on Aprapra, she's decided to, be schooling, and it's waste of time. And when I used to hear such things, I just laughed, And one thing is that when you are having a vision, you as the vision carrier must be focused. You don't have to let what people are saying discourage you, because otherwise you can never attain any valuable thing in life. Human beings are like that. I had that experience, but I did not let it pull me down. Yes.
Let me also chip this in. I think I have the similar experience.
Okay.
When I started this my channel thing, social media stuff, a friend of mine was like, if you want to do photography, just tell me, I'll buy a camera for you and go to Ghana. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you?
With you.
I am trying to build up a whole channel. And this friend that I'm talking about, anytime I put something, he's the first person to go and like and comment. Or now calling me and telling, it's like, it's like, he said, who has the money here in this country to want to call somebody for something like that, or for videographer like that? I'm like, what kind of a delusional way of thinking?
Yes.
So it's interesting. I'm not surprised that you shared it, that that's the way things went with some compliment.
Yes.
But I'm glad you didn't let that stop you, and now you are here.
Yes.
So I guess I also want to use this medium or this opportunity to reach out to every young lady that is there, or any kid that you still have your mom that is doing a pra for 20 years since she came. And the interesting thing in this country, not to talk down anybody, but I don't understand. I feel like some of them have done this Aprapra now. They feel like, okay, we are the chefs when they come to Aprapra, and they have like 20, 40, 50 of them, and it's something to brag. And you see, that is why I think we as African community, we are not going forward. You ask me, because this Aprapra thing is something that when someone comes in the country, this is a starter something. So you have come in 20 years and you are not leaving it, and you are holding 20 pieces of Aprapra instead of you to upgrade yourself. So the ones that are coming for it now, what menial job is there for them for you to start and say, oh, I'm also starting and going forward?
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
So let's try and see if we can have the renewal of mind and do things differently.
Yes.
If Madam Teresa that is sitting here did it and she didn't get stuck in a pra, I think it's possible and everybody can do it. So Madam Teresa, I'm still with you. So tell me, fast forward now that you've been holding the business, will you say at any point in time you feel like you lost or you have any regret or anything going in it? And aside that, I know one thing when it comes to this country that most people complain about is taxes. You know? So in that is one thing that people fear to say, that you cannot own a business in Germany. I know some people that go to instance, they'll say, I have my business, I can't register my business, I have to register in Ghana. Tell me, what is it like when it comes in that area?
Well,
let's keep talking.
It doesn't matter. Your taxes depend on your income. Yes, it is income tax. So what you earn, the government will want to have a piece of it, also for the state. Before I even stood on my feet, I benefited so much from this country, and even back then in Ghana. So life is like that. You shouldn't always be at the receiving end. There is nothing wrong with paying taxes, because it is out of that they develop the nation. It is out of that they give social to the needy, which all of us have received at one point in time. I even remember that in 2020, when Corona set in, And then if you cast your mind back, that was the time when the world was at a standstill. Traveling was banned, because they wanted to stop people from moving about and spreading the corona and the COVID-19. And one of the industry that was hard hit was the travel industry.
Yes.
At that time, the German government introduced what they call Überbrückungshilfe for companies, whether solo company or middle class or large companies. They sustain us. We got a package that will take care of your fixed costs, like your rent and all that, your salary. If you have workers to their salary, all that was taken care of.
And that is all because you were paying taxes.
Yes. So all that was taken off so that you can stand on your feet. That program helped companies to stand in the COVID time, because if not, everybody would have collapsed.
Yes.
And in the long run, what happens? The economy collapses. You understand me? So I thank God anyway that after receiving the corona health, or what they call Überbrückungshilfe, there was Überbrückungshilfe 1, Überbrückungshilfe 2, Überbrückungshilfe 3, and companies applied as they need be. But to God's glory, when I applied for Überbrückungshilfe 1, the first stage, I didn't have to apply again because I stood on my feet again.
That's good.
Yes, I stood on my feet again, because I don't have, the need for it, and I didn't reapply. So why should you always receive and then you make noise when you have to give taxes? You don't have to,
All right, guys, there's not much to do like it telling you. I'm here with Mother Teresa. Madam Teresa, and she's sharing. Like I said, if you are in this country, you don't see the need to register a business or something that you have going on. There are things like unforeseen contingencies, and when those things happen and you've not done what you're supposed to do, you find yourself in a corner. So I'm still here with her and she's sharing. So tell me, right before we move into the fact that you are now doing music, I want to know how come someone from travel and tour now is doing music. We'll go into that, but what would you say to someone who is also out there, probably, let's say, might be of your age range right now, and thinking, nah, it's too late, I'm still gonna stuck to this whatever or whatever I'm doing in this country till I die? What are you going to say to such a person?
I will say the person must not give up. Okay. When I was getting my training, it wasn't easy because I told you I had 2 children at that time. They were very young that time in primary school. Every morning I had to get them prepared for school before I go to school, and I have to be in class 7:45 every day. Okay, for 3 years. I have to endure. It is endurance. So, and at that time, to even those in my class, I was older than all of them. I was like, some of them, I could even be their mom.
You didn't let that bother you?
My teachers were even younger than me. I am somebody that, when I want to do something, I don't let anybody discourage me. Even if I fall, I will get up. That determination should be there. The age shouldn't be a barrier. Even if only you desire, you should be able to make it. Yes.
So it's interesting that you put it that way. But someone would say probably you had help. You had your husband by then, and so that made things flexible for you.
Okay. I would tell you this. The time I was doing my training, my husband was not there.
Okay.
He was not there. He had left the country because of paper problems. Okay. I was with my little boys alone as a single mom. Yes, caring for them and learning this trade of travel industry. So it wasn't on a silver platter for me either.
Guys,
Yes.
like I keep saying, there's not much to be seen here, and she's pouring it
Yeah.
all out. So if
Yeah.
you're a woman and you are out there and
Yeah.
you want to use the fact that, oh, I have 2 kids, so using that excuse, there is nothing like any excuse. Whatever you want to do in this country, if you only determine, you can still have somebody that you can give your kids to,
Yes.
and then you're able to do whatever you want to do. So
Yes.
still here with Madam Teresa, the CEO of Akwaaba Travels, right?
Yes,
I said
sir.
that right. Yeah.
Yes.
So like I said, don't forget, in case you want to travel, let's learn how to give each other a helping hand in this country. You know,
Yes.
it's the same like you trying to go to a different place, whether it's an European having the same business, it's the same thing. And like she said, even with this Akwaaba Travel and something, you don't necessarily have to walk into their office. I'm sure they have numbers and things we're going to put on there. So in case you are watching this for the first time and you want to help push a sister and keep the business going, you can just call them. So I'm still here with this. So like I said, Sister Teresa, we've said a lot. Is there anything you would like to say before we just give any closing remarks before we bring
Okay. What I would like to say is that let my story encourage you, and know that the Lord can use you. It's just about you, submitting to the Lord's will and obeying His voice. You can be used of the Lord. That is what I would say to my audience.
All right.
God bless you.
All right, guys. So, like she said, look, it doesn't matter how old you are
Yeah.
in this country or when you travel. Don't let anything limit you.
Yeah.
If she's able to do it and move all the way from Akwaaba to manage your own travel and tour, it means you can also do it. So
Yes.
never give up on whatever is your dream, irrespective of the situation you find yourself in. Once again, like I keep saying, this is LapoteeTV. Guys, thanks for watching. Once again, it's nice having you here.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, yeah.